TIFU and possibly got scammed out of an apartment? Possible apartment scam? Hi everyone. I live in LA County with 2 roommates and have been looking to move out soon. I got some advice that while apartment hunting I could check Craigslist and FB Marketplace for deals, private sellers, etc. I found this place on CL for super cheap in Sun Valley, and though I thought this couldn't be right, I decided to humor it and contact the landlord. According to this guy, he's renting out the place. It's a 1B1B. For super cheap to make some easy money and have someone watch over the property until he retires. He said I could apply. The application was $50 and he wasn't checking credit. He did ask what my score was though during the conversation. He said his lawyer handles the payment and to tell him I did. I fill out the application and ask him how far back does he need to see my check stubs, and he said, just fill out the application, he doesn't need to see them. I thought that was super weird, but I continued on. At this point some alarms are going off, but then again he's just a private seller and could just be in a bind. After going over the application, he said he approved of me and asked for an $800 deposit. I didn't want to give him the full $800 because I hadn't seen the place in person. I asked if he was available to show this week. He said yes, Thursday at 5 p.m. and asked if that worked for me, but that he needed half because he had potential renters already. I gave him half, and this time the email was kinda weird. It was no name, just a combination of letters at Hotmail, and he said this was going to his wife. I said WTF, I'm already this deep. If this is actually legit, it'd really help me out. One thing to note, there was a woman's name on the bottom of the application and it didn't match his wife's name. Her last name also wasn't the same as his, but that's not super strange. About an hour later he texts me that an applicant he asked his wife to attend to put down 3 months rent, and that if I wanted to keep the place I'd have to give him the other $400. He apologizes and I'm hesitant. I lag a little and he starts texting me kinda urgently, which is off putting and raises another flag. At this point I'm in it for the long run, and I'm prepared to lose and have a plan to get this money back, so I comply. I go to bed hoping it works out, and wouldn't you guess I get a text in the morning from him. He tells me someone else also paid the deposit and he wasn't aware of it and isn't really comfortable with the applicant because they smoke drugs and I don't. He said he prefers me because I'm young and ambitious, etc. He asks me for the full rent, which is $1,200, and I absolutely cannot do that. I tell him I wasn't prepared to pay the rent today, and he asks if I can give him anything, and I tell him I can't because it would make my finances too tight and I have to be able to pay my bills on time. I tell him if he needs to choose the other applicant over me for the money he can refund me and I'll look elsewhere. He says that it's fine and not to stress myself and wishes me a good day. I thank him and he sends me a handshake emoji. Now a lot of this seems like normal private seller interactions, but scammers are getting pretty good these days, and I wanted to know what someone else thinks. Note: I didn't mention before, but his English was pretty broken. TLDR. I found an apartment to rent. The interaction with the guy was kinda weird, and I think I may have gotten scammed out of the deposit, but IDK. Possibly, that money's gone. This is absolutely 100% a scam. A very common scam. How do people keep falling for these? Never pay any money for a place you haven't seen in person. And I mean the inside of the place, not just the outside. You ignored all those warnings and still went ahead with it. Yeah, you lost that money. I mean, that's how I feel, but please keep us updated. This was a scam right from the first paragraph. IDK, how people fall for these. A lot of this seems like normal private seller interactions. No, not a single part of this is normal. You sped right past every red flag. Live and learn. Money's is long gone. You're screwed. A lot of these kind of ads just want your info on the application to steal your identity, but you really took the bait in the worst way. Sorry. Probably a scam op just happened to me with a place a couple of months ago. If it's too good to be true on CL, it's likely a scam. You live and learn. I hate that people do this. What's your plan to get the money back? You got screwed. Something similar happened to me and my husband. For his work we needed to be 3 months in a big city, and it was just better for us to rent an apartment. It was the exact same scenario, except when he saw our income, suddenly we were too rich for the apartment. All the excuses to not let us give deposit or pay 3 months in advance. We talked about it to a lawyer friend of mine who just started laughing so hard. I asked why, and she said, "You probably make more money than his scam." Meaning you'd win in court. And high chances of bringing them to court because of the scam. Scammers like this don't like people with high incomes. It's too dangerous for them. So the scammer decided it was too risky to scam us. TBH, that sounds sketch AF. Would have pulled out when he said to pay before seeing the place. Have a plan to get this money back, so I comply. What's the plan? TBH, that sounds sketch AF. Would have pulled out when he said to pay before seeing the place. I honestly wouldn't even call this a scam. You just willingly gave up money and personal info just to see what would happen. Like, this was so obviously not normal, and you kept going and going and going and going. You got scammed hard. Lesson learned. If it sounds too good to be true, CLFB Marketplace, that's a yellow flag right there, yellow square. Renting a place for super cheap and doesn't check credit, red flag, location flag. Lawyer handles payment, and to tell him IDEC what color this flag is. Double red, no swimmers in the pool flag, location flag, location flag. Doesn't check pay stubs, another red flag. How would this guy even know you have money to pay for this magical place? Location flag. Sending half of some random payment amount to a burner email ending in Hotmail? That's a purple flag. Dangerous waters, purple square, blowfish, shark. Names not matching. Multiple people involved. Where is this supposed lawyer that gets the money? Now it's going to his wife. Another red flag on the play, location flag. Then he tries to rush you into paying the other half, location flag. Next morning, surprise surprise, scammer part 2. He now wants more money because you are young and ambitious, and not experienced with dealing with scammers. Location flag, location flag, location flag, location flag. Bad English. Okay, that's an orange flag. Doesn't have to be a bad thing necessarily, but it adds up. Orange square. Best of luck op. I'm curious of your plan to get your money back. I know how desperate you can get when trying to find something to rent. From experience. But you can't just ignore all those red flags. I'm sorry op, your money is gone. You got scammed. Sorry buddy. Did you at least get to kiss that money goodbye? Now you know, if you see a Hotmail email with a bunch of numbers and letters, you're being scammed. 100% a scam. A lot of these scams are run by people overseas. They just pick some houses off Google Maps based on location. The third party they use for paperwork are actually shellcore. Most times, the actual people living at the location have no idea that their place is being rented or sold by other people. Zelle doesn't have personal protection, so if you send money to the wrong person, that's theirs now. If these people are based out of your country, it'll be harder to get your money back. Never send money before signing a lease.
If you enjoyed this video, Please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.